ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hari bol. Let's get started. So Prabhuji, since you have to leave, do you want to read this one? If you're in a position. Viram Gopal Prabhu.
I can start if Prabhuji is busy.
Sure, go ahead.
यं धर्म काम विमुक्ति कामा
Yam dharma kamartha vimukti kama
भजन्त इष्टं गतिम् अप्नुवन्ति
bhajanta ishtam gatimapnuvanti.
किं च शिशोराति अपि देहमव्ययम्
Kim cha shishorati api dehamavayam
करोति मेदव्रतयो विमोक्षणम्
karotu medam bradayo vimokshanam.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Is it translation also?
Yeah.
I can only see the purport. Oh, okay. Sorry, I have to scroll. Okay. After worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, those who are interested in the four principles of religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation obtain from him what they desire. What then be said of other benedictions? Indeed, sometimes the Lord gives a spiritual body to such ambitious worshippers. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unlimitedly merciful, bestow upon me the benediction of liberation from this present danger and from the materialistic way of life. Hare Krishna. Purport. Some men within this material world are akami, free from material desire. Some are ambitious to get more and more material profit, and some desire fulfillment in religious life, economic development, sense gratification, and finally, liberation. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaridhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Bhagavatam 2.3.10. It is recommended that whatever one's position, whether one demands no material profit, all material profit, or ultimately liberation, one should offer his obedient devotional service to the Lord, and one will get what he desires. Krishna is so kind. Ye yatha ma prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamiham. The Lord reciprocates. Whatever even an ordinary living entity wants, Krishna gives. Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, and he gives that which is desired by the living entity. ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां हृदयेषु अर्जुन तिष्ठति ब्रह्मयान् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्ररूढानि मायया. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of this material energy. 18.61. The Lord gives everyone an opportunity to fulfill his ambitions. Even such a devotee as Dhruv Maharaj wanted the material benediction of a kingdom greater than that of his father. And although he received a spiritual body, he also got a kingdom. For the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not disappoint anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Therefore, says Gajendra, the king of elephants, has surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to get free from the present danger and indirectly from the present danger of materialistic life. Why should the Supreme Personality of Godhead not fulfill his desire? Hare Krishna. So here it's being discussed that four types of people, approach the Lord, and also it is described that anything one may want, be it material or
Prabhuji, did we lose you?
Yeah, I can't hear anything. Nagarjan Prabhu, we can't hear you. So try again. I think he's joining again.
Okay.
Still can't
Hare
hear
Krishna.
you. Now we can. Yes, please go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Sorry. So I was just saying that four types of people approach the Lord, and then be it for material gains or for any reason, be it material or spiritual progress, we should approach the Lord. That is described. And then Gajendra, in this fatal condition, in his near fatal condition, has prayed to the Lord and is praying to the Lord to deliver him from this material life as well as from this current dangerous condition. So it's a good example for us that in a difficult situation also we should any kind of situation we should approach the Lord only, be it material or spiritual. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nagarjan Prabhu. This verse is very important and very beautiful actually. 2.3.10 that Prabhupada has quoted, how one should approach Krishna for all desires. But so again, keeping in mind both extremes, that one should not approach for material desires whimsically. We should try to suppress. We should not bother Lord for any frivolous materialistic desires. That's not what the goal is. But this is a dire situation. He is in danger. His life is in danger. And especially for us, our life and health and certain aspects of our existence, like our loved ones and all, if they're in difficulty, it's okay to pray to God. Sometimes, again, in Krishna consciousness, we get this idea that, oh, we should only approach for, pure devotional service or pure love of Lord, and anything less than that, if you ask from Lord, then you are like a fallen person. So that's little bit of extreme position, because it is a genuine honest relationship with the Lord. So if you are in a difficult situation, who would you share with if not your Supreme Father? You, like, if your child is in difficulty, you would want them to come to you, not just suffer alone or not just go to somebody else, but come to you. So similarly, with Lord, we need to have an open honest relationship. We should sit in front of the deity, cry, share, express, but and then on the other extreme, also suppress certain frivolous day to day basis, the small struggles that we face. Those we should try to handle on our own. But difficult problems like this, where health, life, major crises, major life quakes are concerned, then we need to approach Lord. If who else if not Lord? Anybody else wants to share anything?
Oh, yes, Mataji, I just wanted to share this. Yeah, even like even in material life, right? I mean, I've seen like when we do any kind of relationship, I mean, at least in the material life, people take advantage of situations, right? So when people take advantage, so the best friend in the material world also is that who doesn't need anything, and then that's a best friend pretty much, because he will, if he's a really friend, he will extend it. Otherwise, in this business world where everything is give and take, it's very hard to have a real friend. And definitely Supreme Lord is the best because he's Atmaram. He doesn't need anything, and approaching him is the right thing. And I in my life also I feel that is the same thing, because if I approach somebody and ask anything, then no, then it'll not be a pleasant experience. So relying on Lord is best.
Right. Yes, Prabhuji. Perfect. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do the next one. So this is 2 verses combined, 0.3, 0.20, and 21.
Want me to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, please go.
एकान्तिनो यस्य न काञ्चना काञ्चनार्थं वाञ्
We'll recite after you, Prabhuji. You like
Okay.
to read in Devanagari or English? Or I can maybe pull up both here. Okay.
Yeah, I think English is better.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Devanagari is also sometimes the words are a little bit tricky for me.
Okay. I got
Yeah, English is better.
We'll follow after.
एकान्तिनो यस्य न काञ्चनार्ताम्
Ekantino
Ekantino yasya na kanchanatham
वाञ्छान्ति एवां भगवत् प्रपन्ना
vanchanti
Vanchanti
evai
Bhagavat
bhagavat
Prapanna.
prapanna
अति अद्भुतं च चरितं सुमङ्गलम्
ati
Atyadbhutam
abdudam cha tam
Pracharitam
charitam
Sumangalam.
sumangalam
गायान्त आनन्दसमुद्रमङ्ग मग्ना
Gayananda
gayantananda
Samudra
samudramagna
Magna.
तमक्षरं ब्रह्म परं परेषाम्
Tamakram
tamaksharam
Brahma
brahma
Param
param
Paresham.
paresham
अव्यक्तम् आध्यात्मिकयोगगम्यम्
avyaktam
Avyaktamadhyatmika
adhyatmika yoga gamyam
इतेन्द्रियां सूक्ष्मम् इवत्ति दुरम्
Atindriyam
Atindriyam
Sukhyam
sukshamam
Vati
evate
Duram.
duram
अनन्तम् आद्यां परिपूर्णम् इदे
Anantamadyam
anantamadyam
Paripurna.
paripurnam vide.
So translation by Srila Prabhupada. The unalloyed devotees who have no desires other than to serve the Lord worship Him in full surrender and always hear and chant about His activities, which are most wonderful and auspicious. Thus, they always merge in an ocean of transcendental bliss. Such devotee never ask the Lord for any benediction. I, however, am in danger. Thus, I pray to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is eternally existing, who is invisible, who is the Lord of all great personalities, such as Brahma, and who is available only by transcendental Bhakti Yoga. Being extremely subtle, he is beyond the reach of my senses and transcendental to all external realization. He is unlimited, he is the original cause, and he is completely full in everything. I offer my obeisances unto him. Purport. अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यं ज्ञानकर्मादि अन्वर्तम् अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु शीलनम bhaktir uttamam. See Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:1:11. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitful activities or philosophical speculation. That is through fruitful without. So that is without, correct. So that is called pure devotional service. Unalloyed devotees have nothing to ask from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Gajendra, the king of elephant, was circumstantially asking for an immediate benediction because he had no other way to be rescued. Sometimes, when there is no alternative, a pure devotee, being fully dependent on the mercy of Supreme Lord, prays for some benediction. But in such a prayer, there is also a regret. One who always hears and chants about the transcendental pastime of the Lord is always situated on the platform on which he has nothing to ask in terms of material benefits. Unless one is completely pure devotee, one cannot enjoy the transcendental bliss derived from chanting and dancing in ecstasy of the Sankirtana movement. Such ecstasy is not possible for an ordinary devotee. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us how one can enjoy transcendental bliss simply by chanting, hearing, and dancing in ecstasy. This is Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, the king of elephant Gajendra said, Adhyatmika Yoga Gamyam, indicating that unless one is situated on the transcendental platform, one cannot approach the Supreme Lord. The benediction of being able to approach the Lord can be achieved after many, many births. Yet, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has awarded this benediction to everyone, even to a fallen soul who have no heritage of anything in spiritual life. That is actually being seen in Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, the path of Bhakti Yoga is the spotless process by which to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhaktyan Ekaya Grahya. Only through devotional service can one approach the Supreme Lord. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Maya Akshakta Mana Partha Yogam Yajnam Madarshaya Asamshayam Samagraham Mam Yata Jnashyasi Cha Churna. Now hear, O son of Prita, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Simply by being attached to consciousness and by thinking of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna constantly, one can fully understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without a doubt. So I can share my summary. So again, as Nagarjuna Prabhu's also shared and Mataji also shared. So those who are pure devotee, they're able to serve the Lord without asking anything from the Lord. And it's said in one of the Maharaj I heard that जो भक्त है भगवान को कुछ नहीं भक्त को कुछ नहीं चाहिए भगवान को भी कुछ नहीं चाहिए. So sometimes like we have to think about that because that is a real state of a pure unalloyed devotee who is in that state, and then he is able to pray the Lord and through devotional service. As you mentioned earlier, I mean, we are not in that state yet, and it's very hard when you are entangled with this material world. So in this particular case where the Gajendra, he cannot do his real devotional service because he is in the situation where the Lord of Death has caught his leg. So he's really in danger. So he's actually he's really I would say lucky, because he started to remember the Lord in his past life and started to pray the Lord. And then this is in this danger situation, he's able to remember the Lord. Sometimes in our situation and sometimes in the danger, we don't remember the Lord. So that is our situation. So but Gajendra is really elevated, shows that at any point of time when the danger came, he is remembering the Lord, which means that he has practiced that previously. Otherwise, very hard to remember the Lord, or at least he has done the devotional service to the Lord. Otherwise, the Lord will not give that remembrance in the final stage. And also he says that Lord is also who is invisible, and all the great personalities like Brahma, he's also engaged in doing the bhakti yoga. So that is the whole essence of this. And that's with that sense that he's surrendering to the Supreme Lord. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here and he presented this very beautiful Krishna consciousness movement, Bhakti Yoga process, where through the devotional service and activities, one can surrender to the Lord, which is also confirmed by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita in 7.1. And in that yoga system, attaching the mind to the Lord constantly is very important. So I don't do it. That's my problem. But that is what is wanting in conscious of me, meaning that we should understand that Krishna is within our heart. That consciousness that we always have to remember that he's inside our heart. He's there, and then attaching our mind to him. And that is what I mean I like, actually, especially because I have so much distraction. So that is what where Krishna is saying that when you think like that, then I'll give you full understanding about myself, and I'll reveal it to you. That you can take it without a doubt. So I just want to share that. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing. Very nice points you shared. And this verse is so beautiful because Gajendra, in the from last few verses, he glorified the Lord, and now he's saying that pure devotees do not ask anything from you, but I am in a very dire situation. I'm in a very life-threatening, difficult situation, going to lose my life here. So, I have to ask you for this benediction to free me. So, but so he's acknowledging his limitation, that he's not at the level of pure devotional service. We're not to ask anything. But remember that we discussed this already, that even pure devotees will ask and should ask when these very difficult situations come, because they have a relationship with the Lord. Like Mother Draupadi, she's a pure devotee of the Lord, and she is a great example of when she's asking the Lord for help. Even Prabhupada in his own life, you will see that when he had those heart attacks, when he was in US, he had that very difficult time just before the San Francisco Rath Yatra. So he asked the devotees to start singing Narsinga prayers, to start worshipping Narsimha, and pray Narsimha for a longer life, so he can fulfill this purpose of writing Bhagavatam. So he asked for help from the Lord. So in this way, for small things, for daily, like we discussed before, but for personal gain, for personal aggrandizement, those kind of things, when this verse says anya bhilashita shunyam, it does not mean that you're not showing your dependence on the Lord. You have to show your dependence on the Lord in the time of difficulty. You have to show your dependence in all situations, but especially in the time of difficulty, show complete vulnerability. You completely at the mercy of the Lord. But other situations, Prabhupada used to say, "Jo hari ichha, jo Bhagwan ne karna, that's fine. Jo hari ichha." So you leave it up to the Lord, but it's with some things we think are very dire situation, where we ask Lord to help us, and then how Lord will protect us is up to Him. We are asking His protection. We are showing our surrender, our you will asking for protection. Asking for protection is not wrong, but whether Lord gives in what way He gives His protection is up to Him. So in some situations, we see that devotees were not saved. Their body was not saved. So then you will say, aisa kaise ki he says, my devotee never perishes. The devotee, the soul did not perish. His spiritual life did not perish. On bodily level, you may think that the body perished. You may saw that. So many situations that happened where, in Russia, devotees were harmed or killed. Even Aladini Mataji, she was killed. So like many devotees that have gone through harm. So how Krishna's protection will manifest, then that's up to him. You have to have this full faith that Krishna will protect you, the real you. Krishna will protect you, whether he protects the body, whether in some situations he will protect the body, like in this case. Some situations he will protect the mind. Some situations he will just protect the soul, and may take the body may be taken away. That is also his protection. So how his protection will come, you have to leave that up to him, because he's the best person to decide that. He knows the past, present, future. He's your best well-wisher. He will decide that. So sometimes, we get confused in our times of difficulty, because like Gajendra, we are also offering prayers, we are also asking, but we don't see him coming. So we say, where were you, Lord, in my difficult times? Where were you? And there is this beautiful poem, actually. It's called, I don't know if you've heard that poem. It's called Footprints. So footprints in the sands of time, or something like that. So in my, good times, the devotee says that there were two set of footprints. I saw that you were walking with me. I could see you. I could feel your presence. But then in the sands of time, I see that when it was difficult times, there was only one set of footprints. So the Lord said, he was questioning the Lord, where were you, Lord, in my times of difficulty? So the Lord said that in your times of difficulty, those one set of footprints that you saw were mine, and I was actually carrying you. So, if in good times we remember, Lord, that in times of difficulty like this, the mercy flows freely, and Lord will provide his protection in the best way that he knows is best for us. So Rakshi Shaibeti Vishwaso. Have full faith that he will protect you. So that's those were the points that were coming to me. Anybody else wants to share anything from this verse? Hare Krishna, Sheetal Mataji, thank you for joining.
Thank you for that reminding of that prayer. That is just a wonderful footsteps. I've read it every time I hear it, and I think you only shared it last time also. I heard it first from you, but every time I hear it, it brings goosebumps to me. It's so wonderful, so true.
Yeah. So, yeah, Prabhupada used to say Jo Hari Ichha, but still, when the difficulties come, it is a very nice, endearing. It is endearing to Lord when a devotee shows complete surrender, vulnerability, dependence on the Lord, and asks for protection. And that is actually a mark of a relationship, that you can ask the person on whom you depend completely in your good times also, that in bad times also you completely share everything. But yes, we don't bother Lord with the small things. Okay, let's keep going. Let's read. Okay, this is three verses together, and it's a short one. Sheetal Mataji, would you like to recite and read this verse?
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Then we pranam. We'll follow after you, Mataji. One line after each line.
Okay. Yasya brahmadayu devaha
Yasya brahmadayo deva
Veda lokascharachara
Veda lokas chara chara
Nama Rupa Vibhedena
Nama Rupa Vibhedena
Palgva Ya Kalaya Krita
Palagvya cha kalaya
Palagya cha
krita.
kalaya krita
Yatha Archisho Agne
This is a long tune. Long tune. Like
Karpanya dosha
Yatha
tune.
Shogne Savitur Gabastayo. Like that.
Yatharchishogne Savatiryakabhastyo
Yatha
Yatha
Shogne
chishogne
Savitur
savitur
Gabastayo.
gabastayo
Niryanti Samyanti Askrit Swarocisha
Niryanti
Niryanti
Samyanti
samyanti
Akrit
asakrit
Svarucha.
savurochashaha
Tatha Yatoyam Gunasampravaho
Tatha
Yatoyam
Yatoyam
gunasam
Gunasampravaho
pravaho
Buddhirmanakani Sharira Sargaha
Buddhir Manakhani
Buddhirmanakhani sharira
Sarga.
sarga.
What about the next one? Is the same?
Yes,
Yes, Mataji.
Sa vai na deva suramartatiryan
Savai na
Savai
deva
Nadeva
suramartya
Suramartaya
tiryan
Tiryan
न स्त्री न शन्धो न पुमान् न जनतु
न
न
स्त्री
स्त्री न
दो न
सन्धो न
पुमान् न
पुमान् न
जन्तु
जन्तु
नायां गुणाकर्म नाशान्न चाशन्
नायं
नायं
गुणकर्मणः
गुणाकर्मणः
सन्नाशासन्
चासन्
चासन्
निषेधशेषो जयतादशेषः
निषेधशेषो
निषेधशेषो
जयतादशेषः
जयतादशेष
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Joy.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods, and the expansions of Vedic knowledge, Sama, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and non moving, with their different names and characteristics. As the sparks of a fire or the shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into it again and again, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, the gross and subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformations of the different modes of nature all emanate from the Lord and again merge into Him. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird or beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter, nor is he an animal. He is not a material quality, a fruitive activity, a manifestation or non manifestation. He is the last word in the discrimination of not this, and he is unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. This is a summary description of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's unlimited potency. That Supreme One is acting in different phases by manifesting his parts and parcels, which are all simultaneously differently situated by his different potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vivedhava Shruyate. Each and every potency is acting quite naturally. Swabhavik Jnana Bala Kriyacha. Therefore, the Lord is unlimited. Na tat samas cha bhyadhikas cha drishtayate. Nothing is equal to him, nor is anything greater than him. Although he manifests himself in so many ways, personally, he has nothing to do. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. For everything is done by expansions of his unlimited energies. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, want to summarize this?
Mataji, I can try, but please forgive me if I make some mistakes.
No problem. Please try.
Yeah. So here in the prayers, uh, Gajendra Prabhuji is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead and explains by creating that the Supreme creates, okay, this Supreme Personality of Godhead is creating minor parts and parcels, which are the jivas, and the examples are the Brahmas, demigods, and along with that, the expansions of Vedic knowledge, um, the Sama, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and all other living entities, moving and non moving. So basically, everything in the world or the universe is nothing but the sparks or the fire or the shining rays of the sun that emanate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, including the mind, intelligence, senses. The Lord, which He is beyond the material qualities, and He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird or beast. And I think they're using this not this, where they're discriminating I think that's a school of thought, no?
Neti Neti.
Neti Neti, yes. Neti Neti. So where you come to that conclusion that the Lord is the supreme. Please add or correct, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. I'll just share my thoughts, and we are running ahead of time today because I think these verses are clubbed together. That's why. So we can maybe read a couple more, see more, one more. But yeah, so this verse, Gajendra is saying, again, glorifying the Lord's, how he's the source of everything. So he's saying you're the source of all living entities, all moving and non-moving living entities, all Vedic knowledge. Huh? And this it's a sort of achintya bhed philosophy keeps coming in, which you know that achintya bhed philosophy, achintya means inconceivable. So this is the inconceivable nature of the Lord, that he is cannot be understood by any of these bodily characteristics. He cannot be put into a box. Like all this material understanding that we have, bodily understanding that we have, these bodily characteristics, yeah, just a gender, ki man, woman, animal, demigod, bird, beast, human, like that, demon, all those categories, he cannot be described by any of those descriptions, because he does not fit into any of those boxes. So he does not have any material qualities. He does not engage in any fruitive activities. He can be a manifestation or non-manifestation. So this is his inconceivable achintya aspect, that he can be within and without, he can be near and far, he can be both manifested and non-manifested. He is within this material world, yet he's not within the world, like that, that all these contradictory qualities of the Lord, this is all inconceivable, achintya. और भेद अभेद का मतलब है कि there is, we are part and parcel of the Lord, so we are expansions from the Lord, so we are similar to the Lord. That is the abhed, the similarity between us and Lord. We are his energy, we are his superior energy. But there is bhed also, there is difference also, because we are very small, very minute in quantity, and we get controlled by the material nature. We are marginal potency, whereas Lord is always aloof and never comes under the control of the three modes. And he's vast, he's unlimited, he's vibhu, whereas we are anu. He has unlimited qualities, unlimited potencies, and we have very small spark of his qualities. So all those aspects are being described here. Achintya bheda bhed is being alluded to here. And then all these aspects, they emanate from the Lord and again merge into him. And we know that continuous transformation of the different modes of nature takes place. So the different modes of nature keeps transforming, right? As we perform activities, they keep merging. It's like I always think of it as paints. Two different paints merge and make different shades. So there is always continuous transformation of the different modes of nature happening when the material nature is manifested. And then when it is unmanifested, everything again merges into him. तो जैसे पेंट से मिक्स हुआ एक पेंटिंग बनती है beautiful, and then somehow it all separates and goes back into the paint box. But yeah, not much else to share. He's the source of everything is the main theme, but nothing is equal to him or greater than him, because everything comes from him. So aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate. Anybody else wants to add here? Nagarchand Prabhu, Ramesh Prabhu, Shalja Mataji. Nagarchand Prabhu, your voice is breaking.
Oh, I was just saying that it's just reminding me of the Bhagavad Gita verses where Krishna says that I'm in everything, but nothing is, I'm in everything, but I'm not in them. It's also that, he is the base of everything. We're also discussing Vatta Param Saram Nanya. So,
9th chapter, 7th chapter, these aspects are mentioned very many times. Let's read, I think we can read 2 more because they are not very long. So let's see. Shalja Mataji, do you want to read next one? Are you available?
Yes, Mataji, she's going to be here.
Sure, Mataji, 1 second.
Sure. Take your time.
जिजीविषे नाहम् इह मन्यो
जिजीवे नाहम् इहमूयकिम्
अन्तर्बहिश्चावृत्ता ये भयो योन्या
अन्तर्बहिष्टावृतये भयोन्या
योन्या
इच्छामि कालेन न यस्य विप्लवस्
इच्छामि कालेन यस्य
विप्लव
तस्यात्मलोकावरणस्य मोक्षम्
मोक्षम्.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I do not wish to live anymore after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body covered externally and internally by ignorance? I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, every living entity is covered by the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, who is described and offered prayers in the Gautamiya Tantra as follows. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible. One must understand, however, that this struggle for existence is due to ignorance. For otherwise, every living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There is no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Because of ignorance, we consider every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing. But in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma down to that of an ant, no one can actually be happy. We are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. As a summary, here Gajendra is kind of feeling the desperation that, okay, when I leave this body, and I would like to leave this body, but when I leave this body, I want to be done with the cycle of birth and death. I felt a little bit of disappointment, but at the same time, I'm guessing that because he's realized he's only asking for liberation. Because
I felt the same, Mataji. I also same way.
Yeah, I simply desire eternal liberation, he says, from this covering of ignorance. But anyway, Srila Prabhupada says, like, only by approaching the spiritual master, we probably can get out of this feeling of, we need to continue living this life. We'll just be otherwise just struggling and struggling and struggling, thinking that we have to do this and that and so many other things to make our life perfect in a material sense. But actual perfection happens when we go towards our spiritual goal, which is liberation or liberation from cycle of birth and death. And otherwise, I mean, without Guru's help, we probably will just end up just, after one fulfilled desire or unfulfilled desire, either way, go on to the next and go on to the next and go on to the next. And even in this material, one life, we are just keeping on struggling, and then we might end up with another life, and there also we might just keep on struggling because we've forgotten the previous life. So it's a eternal cycle of birth and death. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, just get out of here as soon as possible.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. I was disappointed when he said, I do not wish to live anymore after I'm released from the attack of the crocodile. So thinking कि भगवान को बुला लिया बचाने के लिए बोल रहे हैं कि I do not wish to live. But this is very important, because this right here is why we need to go to the Supreme Lord to fulfill our desire, to ask for an, even if one has any desires, like we were discussing that verse 2.3.10, akama sarva kamova. Why should we go to the Lord to for even our materialistic desires? Because like Dhruv Maharaj, Artharthi, the one who wanted some money, some wealth, a kingdom, or Gajendra, or Artho, the distressed one. Why are these people going to Lord for their wishes? Because even those wishes, those desires will be purified actually by going to the Lord. So as soon as the Lord appears, as soon as Lord manifests the knowledge within your heart, as soon as he reveals himself, he's like sun, right? Krishna Surya Sama. That's why it says Om Agyana Timirandhasya. So suddenly your agyan, that you wanted that desire, or that desire was somehow going to be beneficial for you, that will be purified. That desire will be purified. So that's a very important reason. So, all the reasons we list why we should go to the Supreme Lord for our desires when we are in difficulty. One, because he's our friend, he's our well-wisher. So he will give us only what is best for us and not what is not needed. He will not fulfill undesirable things. He will not give us what we want, but what we need. Secondly, he knows the past, present, and future. So he also knows what we deserve and what will be best for our future. Thirdly, he's the most powerful person. So he alone has the power to fulfill those desires. Who else can? Like Hiranyakashipu wasted so much time going to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji could not even fulfill what he wanted. So what is the point of going to somebody else who do not even have the full capacity to fulfill those desires? But most importantly, going to the Lord, because he will purify your desires. And right here is the example that Gajendra now says, that I do not even wish to live anymore after I'm released from the attack of crocodile. Similar thing happened with Dhruv Maharaj also. He also said that I do not want this kingdom anymore. It's for the thing that he had asked, he had invoked the presence of Lord, he had done all this tapasya in the Madhuvan, and then finally he said, I do not even want that kingdom. Same thing is happening here. He does not even want to live anymore. So when the light of, Krishna is like sun, when the light comes, and ignorance is like darkness. So that ignorance, that darkness is immediately gone. So suddenly there is, the knowledge is manifested, and Krishna reveals this knowledge in the heart, so that all that avidya, the ignorance, is gone. And this theme is very prominent in Bhagavad Gita also, that we are all born into avidya, meaning we are born into ignorance, where there is dualities, where there is influence of time, where there is control of three modes of material nature. And as soon as we associate with Krishna, that avidya is driven away. So we are not bothered by dualities or influence of time or three modes. So his desire here is purified, as we see. That's all I have to share. Anybody else wants to share anything?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes.
So yeah, I was just actually wondering, this is actually very, I was actually just thinking during this that it's easy to misunderstand this verse, and somebody can say, like, I don't want this human life, I want to, now I'm thinking about Krishna, I want to leave my body like this. But we should be careful for multiple things. One, that is wrong understanding. because one, Gajendra right now has Lord in front of him. Right? We don't have Lord in front of us. When there is a direct dialogue with Lord, then we can ask whatever we want, but not otherwise. And then the other thing is, he is specifically mentioning, I want to leave this elephant body because it's covered with ignorance from outside and inside. The human body, however, is special. The human body is the one where we have the faculties to be at a transcendental level during this life itself. So that is important.
Can you
Was
clarify what was wrong understanding? I did not get that.
I'm saying somebody might say, I'm not saying that this is wrong understanding right now. I'm saying somebody might use this verse in the wrong sense that and say, like, I want to leave this body because it's full of ignorance. Right? Somehow, sometimes some people with limited, they say incomplete knowledge is more dangerous. So if somebody is in the wrong conception and reads this in the wrong way, who is disappointed, dejected with life, and may say, well, Gajendra is saying the same thing in Bhagavatam. So I can leave my life, leave this body.
Got it.
But, right? So I'm saying it can be misunderstood like that. I'm not saying that this is misunderstood by the devotees here, but such a question may come. And we should, and that's what I'm kind of defending against, that these are few points to think about. That one, Lord is personally in front of Gajendra right now. And secondly, it is an elephant body that he is leaving, not from a human body. From human body, you can go back to Godhead directly anyways. And, after this, I think Gajendra does, I'm not sure, but I think he does go to the eternal kingdom. But again, he's not necessarily saying just for liberation. He's not asking for just liberation. He's in, like, if we read it carefully, he's saying, I want liberation means I want to go to the eternal place where there is no ignorance covering the body. So even if it's Golok Vrindavan, let's say, he's asking for, we don't know yet exactly what he's asking for. Because even if he goes to Golok Vrindavan, it will fulfill the conditions being asked for by him right now.
So I think that's why when we read these verses, we cannot be so much specific, and that's why we have to take the principles from these verses. So that's why when I was sharing, I was trying to give the principle, that the principle here is that he actually realized that what is the point of this elephant body anyways. His desire of hanging on to this body is purified. That's why I was sharing that principle here, instead of going into specifics of what exactly will happen with him in future and speculate those things.
Right.
So, so with reading scriptures, that's why the specifics or details have to be figured out for ourselves with guidance. But the principles need to be taken.
Yes.
That's why I do not try to go too much into the details of what is going on in his mind, what is he thinking, because that's not given to us. So we sort of take what is given to us and not speculate on the verses too much. Yes, you're right that nobody should say that I want to leave my body, but I'm hoping that somebody who has come to this point of reading Bhagavatam will understand that human life is very precious. I'm just hoping. I'm just saying that. But yeah, your point is well taken, that nobody should misconstrue to say that we just ask a lot to just destroy the body. So ultimately, the full dependence means how, like we discussed before, however Krishna then decides to protect us, it's up to him. Sometimes he may protect us by our goal is to take shelter of him in difficulty, and when we take shelter, then it's up to him how he protects us. Whether he protects by taking the body or giving us a long life, or just not protecting the body, just protecting our mind. It has happened in some devotee situations. You can there are many examples. Devotees, body eaten up with cancer, but their mind was very well protected, so they were able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra till the end. Or even their mind was gone, but body was active, so the other devotees helped them to engage in different things like that. There are many examples. So how Krishna then provides protection is up to him. Okay. Yeah, I just I get your point, Nagarjuna Prabhu. Just want to keep it simple because I think it's very easy to get very much entangled in complicated discussions.
Yeah, I was just didn't want you all to get sad.
We were getting disappointed. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to read this next one?
I'll have to leave.
Okay, sure. Anyone else wants to read?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please. I think this will be the last, then we'll stop.
Yeah. Before I read, Mataji, I just wanted to say Gajendra Prabhu is very humble. He's
Yes.
calling himself very ignorant and all, but his prayers are so intelligent and in an animal body. As human beings, we can't talk anything, let alone or glorify the Lord. Like,
Right.
so, yeah. Okay. Is it the same meter?
Next will be just Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
So Vishwasrijam Vishwam, like that.
So aham vishwasrijam vishwam.
Soham Vishwasrijam Vishwam.
Vishwam vishvavedasam.
Vishwam Vishvavedasam.
Vishvatmanam ajam brahma.
Vishvatmanam Ajam Brahma.
Pranato asmi param padam.
Pranato Asmi Param Padam.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Now, fully desiring release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Person, who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the supersoul of the universe. He is unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sometimes, when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, is preached to the common man, people argue, where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. So here Gajendra Prabhuji is glorifying the Lord further, where he is desiring the release from the material life, and he is aware that the Lord is the supreme creator, and he knows everything in this world, as you had mentioned earlier, the past, present, and the future. And he even knows our desires, as he is present as the super soul. So this Lord who is unborn, Gajendra is offering the respectful obeisances.
Very bold. Hey, thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Yeah, so this is, I feel like this is like a summary of various things he has mentioned in the past. He is glorifying that Lord is the source, the creator, the cause of everything, the knower of everything, the super soul, the unborn, all those powerful, opulent aspects of the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying in the purport that we discussed this point yesterday also, that if somebody is very scientific, actually, the more they study the matter, the material elements, the material functionality, programming of the material world, the more they will have faith in the Supreme Lord, because otherwise it is very difficult to explain how things are happening in this world unless there is a cause behind them, unless there is a very supreme power, transcendental, like a beyond this world type of power, metaphysical phenomena. Other than that, it's very difficult to explain those things that happen, that are plugged, the system that is plugged into this material creation. So I feel that the scientists actually, like Einstein was a firm believer. He was a theist. He believed in Lord. He actually has commented very favorably about Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, Oppenheimer, you've probably heard, he read Bhagavad Gita and commented. So in this way, actually, people that have deeply studied the material world, they can see that there is some very big power, a source, a cause that is causing these things to come together in such a magnificent, beautiful, wonderful way, inconceivable way, that this is happening. Otherwise it's not possible. Big Bang theory just does not hold up. It's like जैसे कि एक बहुत ही वेल रिफाइंड सिस्टम, जैसे कि मान लो कोई डेजर्ट है, डेजर्ट में आपको एक वॉच मिलती है पड़ी हुई. अब आप कहो कि ये वॉच कैसे बनी, हाउ डिड ऑल दीज एलिमेंट, लाइक इफ somebody starts studying that watch, somebody starts taking it apart to study it, they will see कि बहुत ही intricate functioning is plugged into the watch. So it is not random event that all these elements in the world have come together to make this watch. There has to be a creator behind who put his brains and came up with this advanced technology that tells you the time, and that has these 2-3 hands of hour, minute, seconds going on, and very beautiful looking, and diamond studded. Like, there has to be a creator that has worked, that has put his powers, brains into this. So similarly, and cosmic creation is much more advanced and more intricate and more wonderful and magnificent than just a watch. So if making a watch takes so much of intelligence and power and talent and skills, then how much would it take for the entire cosmic manifestation to be created? So that's why Prabhupada is saying, if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients of the cosmic manifestation. So there is a supreme person, power, somebody who's infinitely powerful, opulent, intelligent, all those 6 opulences, to create this magnificent world. So the more you study, actually, the more scientific you are, you understand that this spiritual knowledge is actually very scientific. So science itself is a proof of God, actually. Science gives a proof of God. They're not separated from each other. That's all I have to share. We'll continue tomorrow. Anybody else wants to share anything? Any last thoughts, comments, realizations?
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
So at this point of time where Gajendra is offering the prayers, has the Lord appeared or he's still praying?
It seems like, Mataji, the Lord is appeared. Lord is in front of him. But I think हमको थोड़ा आगे पढ़ना पड़ेगा to understand that.
अच्छा, हाँ, मुझे लगा कि कुछ आया होगा, मैंने ज्वाइन नहीं करा था ना कल परसों.
हाँ, so looks like the Lord is there in front of him. Is that right understanding, Prabhuji, Mataji? Do you know any different?
He's still yet to appear.
He's yet to appear, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. We can read the chapter description, actually. In this way, the king of elephants, Gajendra, offered prayers directly to the Supreme Lord without mistaking him for one of the demigods. None of the demigods came to see him, not even Brahma or Shiva. Rather, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, seated on Garuda, personally appeared before him. Gajendra, by lifting his trunk, offered obeisances to the Lord, and Lord immediately pulled him from the water, along with the crocodile.
Oh, that is later, right, Mataji?
Then the Lord killed the crocodile and rescued Gajendra.
Okay. I think that's a date I'm thinking.
So look, God is in front of him, and in the end, like this chapter, we will finish it tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, without offer. So that is afterwards, Mataji. I think he appears After understanding the awkward condition of Gajendra, who appeared in the Supreme Person Godhead Hari, police
Oh, yeah.
everywhere appeared.
So-
It's, I think, comes in 331, right?
He's offering prayers and Lord will appear. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I wasn't sure, because this concept
Maybe
is not.
you have a feeling inside Mataji that God is going to be appearing. That may be the true.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions, realizations anybody wants to share before we stop?
Thanks,
Mataji, one realization, one thing I want to share. I think what
Yes.
Gajendra may be feeling is he was so much frustrated with the material life. That may be the reason why he said that, okay, I want to get, and he was in the end of frustration. We feel that, right? Whatever that comes in the thought, he felt that maybe, yeah, I don't care. I want to get liberated. That kind of feeling maybe he might have got. That's what I felt, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, but that's what I was saying. We should refrain from speculating what might be going on inside his head. We are given this in front of us. So it's better to just keep on going with what is given. Yeah, we can, I mean, take it in. There are many aspects to this understanding. One could be that he has understood the futility, like you said, frustrated or futility of material life. The other understand, like, because when we say frustrated, it makes it seem like like a gyani type of person who has or even a karmi person who has जिसने बहुत भोग कर लिया दुनिया का और अब वो इस भोग से frustrate हो गया. It's not fulfilling him. But here we are understanding Gajendra to be more advanced than a karmi or gyani. We are understanding him to be on the platform where he understands this. He needs to go back to Godhead. He needs to engage in pure devotional service, not be worried about this elephant life so much. So it is a subtle difference. Like, I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying. Like a karmi or gyani get frustrated.
Yes, I think maybe because as Nirbhay Prabhu said, because he was in elephant body, he's not able to realize what we realize through human body. Maybe that is the reason that's what I feel.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what I'm saying. Need to be saying maybe what we.
Sorry, Mataji, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying we don't need to speculate on what he may be or may not be thinking, because that opens up a whole box of Pandora's box of many maybes. Like maybe this, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, Mataji, I agree. Yeah.
So I typically tend to just take the verse for what it is. Keep it simple. Otherwise, it gets very complicated. These philosophical points, because every understanding in spiritual philosophy can have 360-degree discussion. So it's very difficult to go in so many directions. So yeah, but the point is, that's why I was keeping it to the point where I'm saying that if we go to the Lord, the desire for which we originally went, that desire may no longer be there, because the Lord gives the knowledge. And that point is hammered many times by our teachers, in case of both Dhruva and Gajendra.
Yes, Mataji. And also, I think you rightly said, because he had that feeling that God is appearing, because otherwise he would not have come to this conclusion in the end. So I think he has that presence of Lord. So yeah.
I'm not sure. I think you're right. He's coming, but not. We'll see. We'll get there. I think tomorrow we can finish this chapter. But thank you so much for all your association. I appreciate each and every one of you. It was wonderful to read these prayers in month of Kartik, and thank you for accompanying me on this journey, helping me to read. Otherwise, I by myself I would not have been able to read. So
Yes, same here. Thank you very much for doing this and for your service, and thank you for sharing your realizations. Also, thank you all devotees who are in the call. Even Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Hare Krishna.
भागवतम की जय, जगत प्रभुपाद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories all Guru and Varanga. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.